Well, good evening out there, everybody, and welcome to the GMRS 1900 Net. It is June 14th, 2022. This is Mike, WQYT827, and I will be your net control for the evening. Before proceeding with the net, we're going to check for any stations with emergency or priority traffic. Any such traffic, go ahead and call in now. Hearing none, if during the net there is any emergency or priority traffic, you're always free to break in at any time. GMRS 1900 Net is a directed net where we discuss matters relating to GMRS and various other topics. While a directed net is in operation, we ask that all radio traffic must go through net control. This net is normally conducted utilizing a national travel tone of 141.3 hertz. All participants are also encouraged to use your radio's monitor mode during the net to ensure that you don't miss anyone transmitting on a different tone. The GMRS 1900 Net website can be found at www.azgmrs.org. After check-ins are complete, we're going to pose our topic and ask for input. When you take your turn, we ask that you keep it short, to the point, so that any questions or comments can properly be addressed by all. Also want to remind you that when you are through with the conversation, please clear with your assigned FCC call sign. Is there any emergency or priority traffic before we continue? This is WQYP827, hearing none. Tonight we're using our online pre-registration roster as usual. If you have pre-registered, you will not have to call in at this time. So I'll now go ahead and take check-ins from our non-registered participants. Please check in one at a time with your first name and call sign, and please speak slowly so I have time to write down the information. You may start check-in now.
WRDN 953, good evening, Mike. Can you check me in and out, please?
(953), what's the first name?
Doug.
All right, Doug, I got you in and out. Thank you very much. Anybody else?
WRQS 31, Mike and
All right, got 2 units, perfect cover there. Take one at a time.
WRQS 431, Mike and Chandler.
WROE 348, Gary and Glendale. WRAP 438, Gil, mobile, can you check me in and out?
All right, any other check-ins that want to come in right now?
WRHX 347, David, checking in and out.
All right, David, I got you in and out. Thank you very much. Any other non-registered participants? Go ahead and call in now one more time.
WRKM 775, John in Phoenix.
All right, right, John, thank you very much. I have you checked in, and we will check back here in a moment and pick up anybody that we missed or got in late. So before we get started tonight, I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to our president, WQUZ 645, and see if he has any announcements for us before we get started. 645.
Well, this is WQZ 645, and thanks, Mike. Good evening to the net. And just a couple things. Want to remind everybody about the meeting coming up this Saturday. Hope everybody can make it. And we're going to be talking about several different items and things going on with our group. And you can find out about what's going on. And, of course, don't forget we're going to have a raffle there, so you can win that as well. And that's going to be this Saturday coming up, and trying to be there about 1 p.m. And then in July, we've got the CNET exercise coming up, Saturday, July 23rd at 10 a.m. And we'll be sending out more information about that. If you want to get involved, then just let me know at ESG at AESGNet.org. And we're going to be checking out just how far we can talk on simplex and relaying messages across the valley. So that should be interesting. Well, that's about all I have. I'll turn it back to Net. This is WQZ 645.
All right, Gary, thank you much for that. And definitely looking forward to the CNET exercise. I enjoy that a lot. All right, our topic for tonight, I am changing it. Disregard the email that I sent out. I'm going to deal with that a different. All right, let's try WRQL 337, William out in Glendale.
WRQL 337.
William, what you got going on? You got any unresolved issues or questions, or everything just moving along hunky-dory?
Well, everything's moving along hunky-dory. I was kind of interested in the your original topic tonight. I've been doing this for a long time, and I guess I could consider myself kind of an Elmer. So, if any of the new people had any issues with programming or anything like that, I can pretty much figure out any Motorola, Kenwood, ICOM. Doesn't matter. The programming software is a piece of cake. So, and that's pretty much all I had to add. I had eye surgery last week, and recovering from that pretty well, and sitting here planning out my HF antenna installation for hopefully before the weather breaks, but we'll see what happens with that for my ham station. And going to load some ammo tonight, and that's about it. Turn it back to you. Turn it back to Net Control, WRQL 337.
William, thank you very much for that. And look for an email about that other topic. I will send you something out and tell you what it's all about. Appreciate you joining us tonight. Have fun. Let's see if Michelle's out there tonight out in Cave Creek, WRQI 411. Okay, let's go out to Chandler. Doug, are you out there? WRQZ, or I'm sorry, WROZ 993.
Yeah, good evening, Mike. Thanks for running the net tonight. And
No really outstanding issues for me. I've been working on a antenna and getting something resolved on my handheld here, and I think it's working a little better.
Yeah, you know what? It's always nice to have the time to just play around and experiment with things.
Absolutely. I would say for me, some of the terminology, I know some people called into this net and other nets checking in and out, and just the definition of that basically, I'm checking in because I don't want to get knocked off of it, but I'm not going to participate.
No, but this is kind of tailored the same way that the big Southwest GMRS network runs. It just makes it a lot easier if you do a pre-registration. We'll get you on the list, and then you won't have to call in when it comes net time. You will stay on the list as long as you don't miss 3 consecutive nets. And if you do, then you're going to get an email from me advising you of that, and you can re-register.
Perfect. So that's the definition of checking in and checking out when people do that?
Yep. Sometimes you just don't have a whole lot to say, so just give us a check-in, check-out, and let us know you're out there, and it doesn't go against your missing.
Muy bueno. Thanks for answering that question for me. WROZ993, back to net.
No problem, Doug. Thank you very much, and that's a very good question. All right, let's see if Dean's out there. WRME 966.
WRME 966 will go no traffic tonight. Not a ball game, so Derek will be wrapped up playing ball. So we'll check him in too, please.
Already done so. Tell him we said hi.
Yes, sir. Will do. WRME 966 will be on the side.
Dean, have a good night out there. Thanks for joining us. Next up is Carlos out in Buckeye, WRKJ 480. Is that you trying to get in? All right, moving on. Whitman, Chris, WQWI 942.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking the net, sir. I don't got much tonight. Just been long days. Stream for got the net streaming on YouTube for those interested to listen to. Other than that, I think that's it. WQWI 942, back to net.
Well, I haven't seen much on your Facebook page. How's the house situation moving along?
Yeah, nothing for 2 weeks now. And their voicemails are full. Gotta love it. So, no clue what's going on. They're just overloaded with these other 50 families that they took on from this other contractor that screwed us over. So, I don't know.
All right, just kind of curious. Well, hang in there.
Yeah, will do. I'm just going to start gearing up for Saturday's meeting. I'm going to have 2 computers out there. Looks like we're going to have to use a 5G hotspot to stream the meeting because the internet there is slower than molasses. So. Oh well. WQWR 942.
All right, Chris, you'll make it happen, I'm sure. Thanks, and be careful out there, and keep hydrated. Tim, WRMV 920, you're next up. No London Tim denied. Okay, let's try another Tim, WQRV 903.
Hello, Mike. Thanks for taking the net tonight. This is Tim, WQRV 903. I don't have any unresolved radio issues except I have no radios in my truck, and my installer is out of pocket for 2 weeks. so I can't get him to put anything in until he gets done with the school district that he's working on. So that's my only radio problem. WQRV 903, back to net control.
Yeah, you're just going to have to learn to do that stuff on your own. All right, Tim, thank you. Be careful out there. Next up is Bill in Sun City, WQCA 890.
Good evening, Mike. Good evening, everybody else on the web. WQCA 890, this is Bill. Not a whole lot, Mike, not a lot to contribute. Just kicking back and listening to the conversations. So I'll kick it back to you. WQCA 890, we're clear.
Well, with the weather, it's just time to kick back and relax anyway. Not GMRS related, but I got to throw a real quick story out there. I have a water feature out by my pool, and if you've ever had to deal with pigeons that like to park on it and drink, I finally ordered this thing. It's called the Spider. It sits on the fountain with these little wiggly wires that spin when the wind moves. So I spent the afternoon. It's really hilarious watching these pigeons fly off my roof and almost land, and you have 4 or 5 of them trying to do a backstep. It's hilarious. That's what I did this weekend, or this day. Mark, WRFP 808, can you beat that?
This is Mark, 808, and no, I cannot. But I do have a question for you, Brick. An issue came up, I noticed, when 717 and myself were out doing some hunting over the past week or so. And the equipment in question is I've got a Kenwood base unit or mobile unit mounted in the truck. It's the 8160HK. And I was using a Kenwood handheld TK370G. Now the situation was, on the handhelds, we were on simplex mode, 462, 5500. And even though we were on simplex in the handheld, the mobile unit, the 8160 in the truck, was picking up the transmissions. And I was kind of curious why that was.
The big question would be, and it was on 550 as well?
Yeah, the Kenwood mobile unit, the 8160 in the truck, was on 550 alpha. The handhelds were both in simplex.
Yep, not a problem with that. The receive frequency is exactly the same no matter what radio it's on. You're telling me that you guys were talking on simplex, but you're receiving it on your mobile. That is perfectly normal. That's the way it should work.
Even though the frequencies were different, huh?
What do you mean frequencies were different? Weren't they both on 550?
Well, yeah, I guess they were, now that I'm looking at it. The simplex frequency we were using on the handheld was 462, 5500, so I guess that would be 550, huh?
Yep, and if your radio is actually on 550, and even though it's on repeater mode, the receive frequency on that radio is also 550. That's why you're hearing it.
It all makes sense now. WRFP 808, back to net control.
Excellent question. One of those aha moments. Thank you very much for that. You guys be careful out there. It's getting warm for being hunting out there this time of day. All right, let's go on to, let's try Attila, WQWL 795. No, Attila. We'll have to do some checking on him. Thank you very much. Rich, WRKJ 772.
Good evening, Mike. No, nothing new to report here. No questions. All the radios seems to be working really well.
I haven't seen any other references to bicycle accidents or anything, so that must be going well.
Yeah, that's healing up pretty good. He's got a few scars, but battle scars, I guess you call them. WRKJ 772.
All right, Rich, thank you very much, and be careful out there. WRKM, oh, nope, he's in and out. Corey, how about WRKM 737? Corey, you out there? Okay, let's try David, WROQ 900 out in Morristown.
Good evening, this is WROQ 900.
David, how's it going out there? Got any unresolved issues that you'd like to talk about?
No unresolved issues at this time. Everything's going pretty well.
Oh, good. I was hoping that you would know that I was talking about radios and GMRS and not regarding gas prices, that type of thing.
I copy that.
All right, David. Good to hear you're doing well. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, WROQ 900, clear.
And by the way, that radio is sounding great. Randy, WRNS 717. Are you out there tonight?
Randy here. Hi, Mike, everybody. It's WRNS 717. Radios are working pretty good. I don't have anything there. I just wanted to publicly make a comment and just congratulate you on you and everybody else that was responsible for the radio event we put on last weekend, I believe it was, there at the church. It was great. Good job again. And we got another guy involved in GMRS, Steve. He got his it's called. We'll be talking to you tomorrow at breakfast about that, about radios and such. So thanks again, and see you tomorrow. WRNS 717.
All right, Randy, thank you very much for that. Yep, I saw your email about Steve, and yeah, we will definitely talk about that in the morning. Let's go on to Lou, WRKT 709.
Good evening, Mike and the Net. This is Lou. I guess what I wanted to mention was I've had an Ocean 805G for about a year and have not been able to get the programming software to properly load up in my computer so that I can program it. And I was talking to Don about that problem. Don that won the 805G from Buy Two-Way Radios at our training session, and told him that I was having that problem, and so I wanted to pass along a little information on that outbreak. So I went to Buy Two-Way Radios and downloaded the software again, and you know, this time it worked for me. I got that 805G programmed up, and really pleased with how it's working for me now. So back to Net Control, WRKT 709.
That's awesome. So it kind of sounds like maybe just a corrupted download or something.
You know, I was seeing people raising that issue for by other sites online, and so I think they probably did some checkout on it and maybe found that they did have a corrupted problem in there. And again, it's working great now.
That's awesome, and I do have to throw kudos out to BuyTwoWayRadio.com. They did participate and sent us that radio, which Don won. And Don decided that the programming was a little bit too simplistic, so he called them up, and they're going to give him credit towards a 935G. So kudos to them, for somebody they donated a prize and they're taking it back and giving him credit for it. I think it's awesome. Lou, I want to thank you tonight, and that's good information. Make note of that. All right, next up is Bob out in Waddell, WRCM 701.
Good evening, Mike. Good evening to the net. I'm out here living a dream and wrestling. I got my anytone the other day, and I'm wrestling with the program on that. And you were so right. It is not easy. But we're working on it, slow but sure. And that's it. WRCM 701.
So you went and bought an anytone, huh?
Yeah, I was quite impressed when I saw yours and did some more checking into it. So, yeah, it looks like the newest radio to get.
Okay, so are you having problems with programming it? And we can also send you some of the information as far as the programming stuff.
Yeah, I know one problem I'm having is the 550 alpha tone. I've tried all three of them and I can't get it to work on any of them. It seems to work fine on the regular tones, obviously on this tone. But yeah, and then I got to wrestle with the DMR part of it.
Well, we got some information about that too that might be able to help. So maybe we should sit down and talk.
That sounds like a plan.
All right, Bob. Good to hear from you, and we'll get together soon. Get you on that radio. I'm liking mine.
Yeah, so far the part I've got working is working great. So WRCM 701 is clear.
All right, Bob. Have a good one. Next up, Joshua out in Mesa, WRNB 665.
Good evening, everybody out there. WRN Bravo 665. Got no radio problems here. Everything just peachy keen. So I guess I'll just say howdy and pass it on back. WRN Bravo 665, back to net.
Howdy right back to you. Radio sounding great as usual. All right, next up, Gary, WQUZ 645.
Well, thank you, Mike. This is WQZ 645, and I'm talking on any tone right now, and doing really well for me. Not having any problems with it. Once you understand the programming and get it all in there, then works really well. Has a lot of features. Back to net. This is WQZ 645.
All right, Gary, have a good one. Appreciate that. And let's see who's next up. How about Tom over in Glendale, WRMK 636?
This is Tom, WRMK 636. No issues at all with the radios. They're all working just fine. Back to the net.
Awesome, Tom. Good to hear you out there, even if it's just to say hello. We appreciate you joining us. All right, let's go out to Scottsdale. Don, you out there tonight? WROD 635. And this is WQYT 827 for ID. Let's try Larry, WRJK 563.
WRJK 563, Larry here. I was kind of hoping you were going to talk about the ambassador thing. You could send me some information if you would. I don't have any radio problems. They work good enough for me. WRJK 563, clear.
Larry, you will be getting the information. You're high up on my list, so appreciate that. Be careful out there. Jeff, out in Chandler. Let's see if you're out there tonight. WQZZ 533. All right, let's try another Jeff. WPTT 519.
That is me, WPTT519. Radios are working. Just got out of the hospital with COVID. There 5 days, and then have to sit around here for a couple more days, and then I should be all right. That's the story here, WPTT519.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Actually, I just talked to my brother-in-law who is visiting in Florida, and he told me this morning he can't come back because he's got COVID. Wow, it's still out there. All I can say is his is not as bad as the last time.
At least I wasn't stuck out of town.
Bill,
all right, WPTT519.
Bill WRNM 749. You out there tonight? All right, let's try John over in Chandler, WROU 270.
Hi, this is John, WROU 270. Currently, I don't have any issues to report. I've just kind of been doing some research on setting up a base at my home here with the antenna in the attic.
John, how's that research going? What are you looking at? A situation with the antenna?
Yeah, mostly just the situation with the antenna, which one to buy, and how I'm going to route it. So it's just kind of going to be fun times.
Well, this is not the time to be working in an attic, so hopefully you'll figure out something you can put on the outside.
I think you're 100% right on that one. WROU 270 clear.
All right, John, if you have any questions, get with me. Always glad to help out. Let's go to Kevin over in Glendale, WQJV 492.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Issues with radios, always. First of all, I'm using a new earpiece, so how am I coming across right now?
Sounding good over here.
Yeah, that's good news. Yeah. So I am still growing into this ecosystem, starting with midway radios for hunting and then to the CCRs, as I learned about a couple weekends ago. Easy to program with Chirp, and I've got a couple of Ocean radios, 935G and a UV9G, I think it is, and still trying to program the 935G, so it's always an issue getting the programming right and for the location that you're at. And then I acquired a new radio a couple weekends ago at the event, a Maxon radio that I'm trying to figure out how to program and grow into that. And working in mobile antenna on the truck. It's an aluminum truck, of course, so I've glued a metal plate on there to mount a magnetic antenna. So it's constantly one thing or the other, but I'm enjoying it. WQJV 492.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. It sounds like you got a whole lot of things going on there. So if you want to take a break and talk about it or something, you know how to get a hold of me. Appreciate you joining us tonight. All right, let's go to, let's see, Art, WROI 404. Well, let's try Rob then, WRNZ 382. And next up is Gary, WROE 348. 348, are you still out there? All right, let's go up to Flagstaff and see if Bill's out there tonight. WROD 347.
This is Bill, WRD 347. Good evening, Mike, into the net. It's always fun to be here. I have no active radio issues at the moment. I'm enjoying the two handhelds I have. It's all I need for the time being, although I'm going to have to go into something at some point here. Just another note, the fire situation improved dramatically today from the lack of wind. So it's still big and burning, but at least the winds were cooperating, and it looks promising for the next few days. So that's it for flag at the moment. WOD 347, clear.
All right, Bill, good to hear. I'll be headed that way on Saturday afternoon, so talk to you probably next week sometime. All right, let's go on to John out in Goodyear, WRJI 326.
Hello, Mike in the net. This is John, WRJI 326.
What's going on, John? Any unresolved issues that you got?
No unresolved issues, but I think I would add a comment regarding simplex mode in 550, in that the repeater does transmit on the 462-550 frequency, and I believe there's a 5 megahertz offset that it receives on 467, so it gets a little funky, but if you were to transmit on the mobile unit he has, he would then still hear himself back on his handheld.
That is exactly right, because the received frequencies are all the same.
That's right. So I do have another question for you. So if you're using simplex mode and you're on the high power frequencies, which are the 15 through 22 approved high power frequencies, do you have a preferred frequency that you normally use?
In the simplex mode?
Yes. If you're using simplex, do you have a preferred channel that you use?
If I'm in simplex and I want to not hear a lot of traffic, yeah, probably more like 625 or 675. That's got the least amount of repeaters in the area.
Gotcha. Very good. Okay. That's all I have. This is WRGI 326, back to net.
Awesome. Good questions. Those things that makes you go, All right, I appreciate it. Next up is Brent out in Mesa, WQWZ 299. How's it going, Brent?
Just working down here in Central Phoenix. I don't have too much. I was interested in your email you sent out earlier, so if you want, you can send me some information. And I don't have any current radio issues at the moment. Knock on wood. Back to you, WQWZ 299.
All right, Brent, you are on the list. You'll be getting some information very soon. Thank you very much for that. Let's see. Next up is Brian. I haven't heard from him in a while. WREZ 281. Brian, are you out there by chance? Okay, let's try Bill. WRMR 257. And how about Walker, WRPL 215?
Hey Mike, thanks for hosting the net tonight, and hello everyone else participating. I have to agree, two-way radios, that's a great outfit to be with. I've exchanged and upgraded a radio with them, and they're pretty cool. With that, no problems whatsoever. You just got to return it, make sure it looks brand new, just as you received it if you want to upgrade. There's a guy out there, his name's John. If anyone out there has any vacuum tubes that are a 6 Larry Frank 6 or a 6 Larry Quebec 6, he'd be much appreciated. He had one that blew up on him. There was a caller that talked about the Ocean 935G. And unfortunately, Chirp does not have software for that. And there's an RT system that does have software. It's pretty good because it allows you to move the frequencies up and down really easily. But I have a repeater question.
Awesome. Love questions. Go ahead.
All right, Mike. I was traveling south a couple days ago, and I was near the Scottsdale 100 repeater, and I keyed up to do a signal test, and I was recording Zillow as a background to see what it sounded like, kind of a self-test. And when I first keyed up, nothing happened. Zillow didn't. There was like no, I don't know, nothing happened. And then I waited. I keyed down, waited. 2 seconds later, the repeater went off with some Morse code, and then right after that I tried again, and Zillow worked fine. The message went through, the double beep, boop, boop, went through, and so my question is there like a sleep mode with these repeaters? Do you have to kind of, you know, like, I don't know, hit the space bar on the on the computer to get them to wake up?
And the repeater, again, what'd you say was Scottsdale 700?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
No, there is no sleep mode. 942, are you out there?
Yes, sir. I didn't hear the whole question, but with the repeaters being linked, being Scottsdale in question, if people do not pause for a second between key-ups, the link will not activate, so you'll miss traffic. Does that answer the question? WQW 942.
So if I understand this, as soon as you key up, start talking immediately. That's what I did do, but maybe I'm not understanding the answer.
Yeah, so once somebody keys up and talks, it should work. The next person just needs to pause for a second before keying up to talk. That pause in between key-ups lets the link reset and key up the repeater.
Okay, hey, thanks for that explanation. And I may have been a little bit out of range. I was traveling southbound on Scottsdale. I think I just passed, well, a little further south than Carefree Highway. When I got to Pinnacle Peak, thing was 100% perfect. Even actually Dixoletta came in too. So that was my question. I didn't know if the repeaters had a sleep mode, but thanks for clearing that up. This is Walker, WRPL 215 in the Scotts Phoenix area right now. Camelback and Central.
No, Walker, you find some of our users have more of a sleep mode than that, the repeaters do. So excellent questions, though. Love the answers. Chris is probably the best one on that one, but it does seem like, do have one question. You said you heard the repeater code. Were you listening on monitor mode or something on Scottsdale 700?
Listening on monitor mode, I don't know. Actually, I'm new to all this, but I don't know what that means. I will just have I have the frequencies coded in. I have one just for 700 Scottsdale and the PL tone. But I was just using it like a regular, I don't know, handheld. So I don't really know.
Okay, just curious. I wouldn't think you'd be hearing the repeater identify it if your tones were active. All right, Walker, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Let's move on to Malta out in Levine, WRFY 476. Let's try Ray out in Goodyear, WRPH 209.
Hey, good evening, Mike and Annette. I don't have any outstanding radio problems, but I would appreciate a recommendation if anybody has one. I need to find a company that I can hire to take and get up on a roof of a tall two-story house and up in the attic. I'm not capable of, nor have the desire to get up on top of this thing. So trying to get an antenna installed and the cable ran down to my office and looking for a company that I can hire to do that. So if anybody knows anything, I would appreciate it. Thanks so much. I'll turn it back to you, Mike. WRP H209.
Good question, and I'll do some research on that and see if I can find somebody for you. Thank you very much for that. Yep, be careful out there, and it's way too hot to be doing stuff like that. Bill, out in Mesa, WROP 208. You out there? No, Bill's in and out for the night. Bob, WRPW 729.
Hello, Mike. This is Bob, WRPW 729 in Surprise. I do not have any radio questions. I was kind of going to listen up on the information on the ambassadors and ask questions and all that stuff. Just as an idea, something else worth putting on a roster.
Yeah, but I am working on that roster. I'm trying to figure out a different way of doing it and getting it a little bit more current. Let's just say we really had a run on membership, and it was tough keeping it current.
I sent you a reply on that. Maybe you haven't seen it yet. It was right before the net, and I'd be happy to help with that idea.
Yes, sir. I got your email, and I will be responding to you about that.
That's all I have. The only other thing is I'm going to be in line behind Tim for his installer. With that, I'll go back, turn it back to net control. This is WRPW 729, clear.
All right, Bob, thank you very much for that, and be careful out there. Let's try Todd over in Phoenix, WRQY 421. All right, let's go to James and Levine, WRNW 536.
Good evening, Mike in the net. This is WRNW 736, James and Levine. No traffic, Mike, other than the guy looking for somebody to run that cable for him. I might know somebody.
All right, James, can you send me an email with that information, please?
Yeah, I sure can. I'll do that here in just a few minutes. WRNW 736, back to the net, Mike.
All right, James, thank you very much. Let's go back up to Flagstaff and see if Kendall's out there tonight. WRCU 835.
WRC 835. Just got a quick question, and that is on RN, and that for emergency use, what frequency would you use and tone? And the same question on GMRS, what frequency would be used and the tone?
Okay, if I had a little background noise here, throw that at me one more time.
I was just curious in that, in an emergency situation in that, what frequency would you use in that? Some say in that channel 9 would be the emergency frequency for FRS, and GMRS would be channel 21, but I'm just curious, what tone would you use for that?
Well, in reality, I don't know that I would use anyone in particular. As a user, I'm pretty good about knowing now what repeaters are within my range and where I'm at most places in the state, and so it kind of varies. I try to stay on those that I have probably more than a 90% chance of getting somebody to answer.
Not a problem. WRC 835 will be clear monitoring.
Gary, go ahead.
WQZ 645, just to comment on that one. And I would agree with in an emergency situation, number one is be aware of where you're at. The repeaters that are operating in your area, and have those ready to go and programmed in, and use that repeater and try to get through. If you're not able to, then they would use the national frequency for calling in emergencies, which is 675, and the tone is 141.3 hertz, or channel 20 on most radios and tone 22 on most radios. Well, that's all I got. Back to net, WQZ 645.
All right, Gary, thank you very much for that. And Kendall, excellent question. Appreciate it tonight. Let's go to Don, WRPS 328. Don, how's it going?
Thank you, Mike. WRPS 328, and how do you copy it tonight?
No, you've been programming stuff. You got a little Roger beep in there or something.
Okay, I'll take that out, and otherwise, how's the audio?
It sounds good. I'm assuming this is your 935?
No, that hasn't come in quite yet. Still waiting to hear back from them. I imagine they're pretty busy. But I'm still using my little GM30 right this evening.
Yeah, maybe get up a little closer to the microphone, but other than that, it sounds good. And speaking of the GM30, I got mine in today, and I decided I might as well order one, take a look at it, and there's good and bad.
Yeah, I like the little radio. It does have its limitations, but there's some workarounds for things, and so I've got all the channels on our sheet programmed into mine. 11 of them I can transmit on, transmit, receive, and the other 11 I can monitor in scan mode, and then I can switch over the tones if I need to talk on any of those channels.
Yeah, we had somebody else that was asking about them, and that's why I got it. And yeah, there's some good and bad. I mean, it actually does have 24, if anybody's interested. So this is a Radiodity GM30. It actually does have 24 available channels that you can do fully customized channel programming in it, which is not a lot, but when you compare it to a 50-watt Midland, the brand new 50-watter that's going for almost $500, and it only has 7 customizable channels. 24 is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I would say, you know, for the money, you know, this is a very inexpensive little radio, but for the money, I think it's a pretty good little radio.
Yep, it's a really good starter radio. Seems to be pretty well built, and actually does work. People said it sounded pretty good, so appreciate that, what you shared with us, Don, as far as your experiences with it.
Very good. And thanks for doing that tonight, Mike. And if you want to put me down on the ambassador list, I'd be glad to help out wherever I can. And I guess that'll be it for me tonight. Back to you. This will be WRPS 328. Have a good evening.
Nope, thank you, Don, for joining us, and let us know when you get that 935G, and it should be fun. All right, let's go out to Robert out in Apache Junction, WRPI 759. All right, let's try Dave, WRJS 273.
This is WRJS 273, Dave in Phoenix, and everything is good here. No questions or comments. WRJS 273.
Hey, Dave, I double keyed on you. I'm sorry. How's it going tonight?
Everything is good here. No questions or comments. WRJS 273.
All right, Dave, thank you very much. Stay inside and stay cool. Ken over in Sun City West, WRQH 385. You out there? Let's try Mike over in Chandler, WRQS 431.
WRQS 431, Mike and Chandler here. No questions. Everything is working smoothly. Just can't wait till we get some more coverage in the Southeast Valley is all. WRQS 431, back to net.
All right, Mike. Yep, and we're working on that. Maybe have some news for you soon, so appreciate it. Gil, are you out there tonight? WRAP 438. All right, let's see if Bubba's out there tonight. WRPY 760.
WRPY 760, Bubba in Tolleson. How are you tonight, Mike? And thank you for running the net. Hey, I don't really have any big radio problems at the moment. I'm still playing with a couple of Motorola's I'm trying to figure out, but I'm curious about that Radiology GM30. Is that $40 radio you were talking about earlier?
Yes, sir. Actually, the one I bought was just under $40.
Yeah, I was listening to you guys. I was out there, but I might want to give one of them a holler. And WRPY 760, this is Bubba, back to net control.
Yep, they definitely have their uses, and you actually can buy a pair of them for like $80, and they include the programming cable. The software is for free, so that's a good deal if you want just something for just general use. Bubba, thank you very much. Keith, we're going out to Scottsdale. You out there tonight? WRKJ 520. All right, now let me check my list here. How about John, WRKM 775?
Yeah, good evening, WRKM 775. This is, I'm talking off that little handheld I wanted, the Connection Vest there a few weeks back. I really like this thing. I especially like the police monitoring on it. I've been having a lot of fun with it. And that's about all I got for this evening. WRKM 775, back to net.
All right, John, thank you very much. Well, it's sounding good, and I wished I had a little bit more time to spend and meet some of the other people, but glad you enjoyed it. All right, let's see. I've got Mike, 431. You still out there?
– 431 here.
Mike, how's it going? You got any unresolved radio issues or anything you need?
Nope, no. So far, so good. Still playing radio. WRQS 431, back to net.
Sometimes it seems it's never ending. Mike, thank you very much for that. All right, we're going to throw it out there for any late or missed check-ins. Come on in now.
This is Corey, WRKM 737. I don't know if I missed you calling me out. I really don't have any
All right, Ed, I've got you in. Just give me just a minute. Anybody else?
WRKM 737, Corey.
All right, Corey, stand by. I'll get back to you in just a sec. Anybody else? Later missed check-ins. All right, we got just enough time. Ed, out there in Scottsdale, WRNX 616. What's going on, Ed?
This is Ed, WRN X-Ray 616. Howdy, Mike, and hello to everyone on the net. Well, I got started with GMRS last year, and as you recall, I had a bit of a problem, or problems, and you did help me out, and everything is just working great. I've got Ocean KG 1000, picked up a couple of KG 905s. Everything's working beautiful. Thanks. WRN X-Ray 616, back to net.
Well, and whatever you're talking on is sounding great. Love to hear those kind of stories. Ed, have a good one out there. Corey, WRKN 737.
This is WRKM 737. I don't have any current problems or anything to add. I do know that I was thinking about the two individuals that were asking for someone to help them install an antenna in an attic. They could probably also reach out to a handyman or probably a smaller electric company. WRKM 737, back to net.
All right, Corey, thank you very much for that. I'm glad you were able to get in there. All right, folks, we are at the bottom of the list, and we are out of time for the night. The AESG Net is going to be coming up a little bit late, so need to get out of here. Appreciate everybody. Right about 35, 36. Awesome night as usual. I want to thank everybody who checked in, participated. Hope we hear you all back here next week. Special thanks goes out to WPRR 517 for hosting the Phoenix High Power 550 repeater, as well as the Scottsdale 700. This is WQYP 827, Net Control, GMRS 1900 Net, returning the repeater to its normal operation. Everybody stay cool out there and stay hydrated.
Oh, sorry, I was in sleep mode there. This is WQZ 645. Good evening. And I'll be your net control for the Arizona Emergency Services Group net. This net is normally conducted after the Tuesday night 1900 net concludes. The Arizona Emergency Services Group, or AESG, is part of the Arizona GMRS Repeater Club. The volunteers in our group are a team of licensed GMRS operators. Many are also ham radio operators. We receive training and also conduct exercises to expand our skills. Those who are dual licensed have an extra tool in their radio toolbox. The purpose of this net is perform a regular test of communications equipment, provide training in emergency procedures, and exchange information related to preparedness. All nets, whether for training, exercise, events, or incidents, are directed nets. If you're interested in joining our group, just send us an email, esg@azgmrs.org. Any station may break in at any time with emergency or priority traffic. Is there any such traffic at this time? Hearing that, we'll go ahead and continue with the net. Those who have already checked in online don't have to check in over the air. We'll give you a call. Any station that has not checked in online can check in now. Please check into the net with your name and call sign.
WS431, Mike in Chandler.
Okay, Mike, I didn't get the first part of your call sign. Can you try that again?
That's WRQS 431, Whiskey Romeo Quebec Sierra 443.
Okay, we copied that, and we've got you checked in. Any other stations?
Whiskey Papa Tango 519 Phoenix.
Okay, Jeff, we've got you checked in there. Any other stations? Okay, very good. We'll go ahead and get started here in just a second. And we did send out an email to ESG members with some information about the exercise tonight. We're just going to have a mini exercise about relaying radio traffic and making sure we get it done correctly. And that's the kind of thing we're going to be doing when we have the CNET exercise coming up on July 23rd on Saturday. That's the kind of thing we're going to be doing there. So this will kind of get us ready for that. And I did wanted to mention, though, if those who are in the ESG or who are interested in becoming members of the ESG, then of course is included with your membership with the main club, the AGRC. We do recommend certain types of radio equipment. They're not required, but we do recommend certain types that have more capabilities and will work better with the ESG. So if you have any questions on that, just send us an email to esg@azgmrs.org. And we're going to go ahead and get started here. I just wanted to go down the list here real quick because we're going to be assigning some tactical call signs. And looks like the first one up there is going to be 827 Mike. You out there?
Go ahead.
Okay, you're going to be relay 1.
Relay 1, WQIP 827.
Okay, very good. Let's go down and see if we've got Attila out there, 795. You out there, Attila? Okay, let's go over to Jeff, 533. Are you out there tonight? Well, let's go ahead to 903 Tim. Okay, and I think Dean, the 966, is out there doing some kind of sports activity or watching a sports activity. But let me just check real quick. 966, are you out there? Okay, very good. 520 Keith? Okay, and let's try 299 Brent. You out there?
Hey, Gary, can you copy me?
Yep, no problem.
Copy. I'm going to have to check in and out. I'm getting ready to do a building search.
Okay, copy that.
WQWZ 299.
And then let's try Mike in Peoria, 856. Okay, and let's go to David 788. Was that 788 calling? Okay, nothing heard there. And then 480 Carlos out in Buckeye. Okay, and then let's go to Mike 431. Are you out there, Mike?
Four through one, Mike here.
Okay, did you want to go ahead and take a tactical call sign and get involved in the little mini exercise tonight?
10-4, yeah, throw me in there.
Okay, we'll put you down as relay 2. That's relay 2. And then Jeff 519, you out there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, did you want to go ahead and get involved in the exercise as well?
I'll listen out on this one and maybe do a next one down next time. WP, TT, 519.
Okay, sounds good. And let me just double check here. Are there any other stations that wanted to check into the net, the ESG net tonight? Okay, very good. Well, let's see what we got here. Now, with the information, if you were able to go through the email that was sent out, you have some information about what we're going to do. We're going to have some messages there, and I'm going to give you a message number, and I'm going to relay that to the other station, and we want to try and make sure that we use the proper protocol for relaying information. So let's start out with relay 1. Relay 1, do you copy?
Sorry to jump in. This is relay 2 for.
Okay, very good.
431, Mike here. I never got the email with the messages.
Okay. This is relay 1 to relay 2. Do you copy?
Relay 2, go ahead.
Okay, message is as follows. We have heavy rain. We have a van stuck in a flooded road. 6 people stranded. It's on the old Carefree Highway west of Lake Pleasant Parkway. The coordinates are 33.798.157. Second part of the coordinates are -112.280.591. In message, how did you copy?
Relay 2 to relay 1, please repeat.
Okay, this is an exercise. Have heavy rain. I have a van stuck in a flooded road. 6 people stranded in the van. We are on Old Carefree Highway west of Lake Pleasant Parkway. The coordinates here are 33.798.157. 3, period, 798,157. Second part of the coordinates are minus 112, period, 280,591. In message, did you copy this time?
Relay 2 to relay 1, that's a clear copy.
Thank you very much. WQIP 827.
And this is WQZ645 Net Control. And that sounded good. Now, if you relay 2, go ahead and relay that message to Net Control, WQZ645.
Relay 2 to Net Control, do you copy?
Yes, go ahead. This is Net Control.
This is Relay 2 with a relayed message. Heavy rain, van stuck with 6 people total on the old Carefree Highway west of Lake Pleasant Parkway. Coordinates are 33, period, 798,157. Second part of the coordinates are minus 112, period, 280,591. How did you copy?
This is Net Control. I copied that. Very good copied message. And back to Relay 2.
Affirmative, WRQS 431, Relay 2, back to Net Control.
Okay, very good. Now, Relay 2, do you have a copy of the messages for Relay that you got an email?
That's a negative. I did not receive the email. I haven't been receiving emails. I'm not sure if I'm signed up for it or not.
Okay, copy that. Well, we'll see if we can get you signed up for the SG, and then you'll be on the email list. We've got another message I want to go ahead and have you copy down, and whenever a message is sent, then we're going to go ahead and we always use the term message follows so that the person receiving the message knows that they need to copy it down. This is WQZ645. Net Control to Relay 2, message follows.
This is Relay 2 to Net Control. Go ahead.
Copy message. This is an exercise. Report of a missing child last seen in Lost City. Name is Cynthia Sliker. Last name spelling Sierra Lima Yankee Kilo Echo Romeo. That's Sierra Lima Yankee Kilo Echo Romeo. A white female, 9 years old, wearing a red shirt with lettering and jean shorts. Stand by. The vehicle seen near the child was a red RAV4. That's a RAV4 with Arizona license plate 25 Papa 833. That's 25 Papa 833. End of message. How do you copy?
Relay to the net control. That is a clear copy.
Copy that. This is WQZ 645. Relay 2, I need you to relay that message to Relay 1.
Relay 2 to Relay 1. Message follows.
Relay 1, ready to receive.
This is an exercise. Missing child, last seen in Lost City. Name Cynthia Sliker. Spelling of the last name is Sierra Lima Yankee Kilo Echo Romeo. White female, 9 years old, wearing a red shirt with lettering and jean shorts. Last seen in a vehicle, a red RAV4, Arizona license plate, 25-833. Again, Arizona license plate 25 Papa 833. End of message. How do you copy?
Relay 1, copy complete. This is an exercise, WQYP 827.
Okay, this is WQZ 645 net control. Very good. And we're using some good protocol there and getting that message through. And now we're going to go to one more, and we'll try that one out. This is net control, Relay 1.
Relay 1, I'm here.
Okay, very good. Go ahead and relay message number 2 to Relay 2.
Relay 1, Relay 2, stand by to copy message to follow.
This is Relay 2, ready to copy.
This is an exercise. I have a tanker truck on its side, State Route 87, at milepost 215, blocking the whole highway. Seems to be leaking something, but I don't know what it is. The sign on the tank has the numbers 1203. Sign on the tank 1203 in message.
Relay 2 to Relay 1, that is a clear copy. Relay 2 to net control.
Net control, go ahead.
Message follows. This is an exercise. We have a tanker on its side on State Route 87 at milepost 215. Again, State Route 87, milepost 215. It is blocking the entire freeway, and it is leaking an unknown substance. Sign on the tanker, number 1203. Again, sign on the tanker 1203. End message. How do you copy?
This is WQZ 645, and this is an exercise. Copy message complete, and I appreciate that. And just for information, if you look that up, 1203 using the emergency response guide, that is gasoline. So that would tell us some information right there. Okay, this has been a quick exercise just to get us in the mode and get us used to relaying messages back and forth and making sure that the message is accurate as received, and each time it's relayed that message stays accurate. And we've been doing really good so far tonight, and hope we're going to probably have another one of these before the big exercise, the CNET exercise coming up on July 23rd on Saturday at 10 a.m. So what we're going to do during that exercise is we'll be relaying messages from one side of the county to the other using simplex without a repeater, then relaying the message back to the other side of the county. Well, the other side of the metro area, let me put it that way. And that will be also be done using simplex, and we'll have another part of the exercise where we will have simulated emergency calls coming in to monitoring points, and they will be relayed to Net Control, and then Net Control will relay it to a station that represents a PSAP, Public Safety Answering Point 911 call center, to get that message through. So that will be two basic parts of the exercise right there. And then we also may have a third part this year in which stations that have the TAC channels and digital capability may be sending some digital messages back and forth and seeing how that works. So that's basically how the exercise will go on the 23rd of July. So we will be having that exercise again this year. It's an annual exercise, and gives us a lot of good feedback, a lot of information on the good relay points to be able to relay simplex back and forth just in case infrastructure, cell phones, and maybe some repeaters go down. We'll still be able to have a method to send some messages through around the valley. Okay, the exercise is completed. This is WQZ 645 Net Control. Any comments or questions about the exercise or about the CNET exercise coming up in July?
Yeah, this is 431 Mike and Chandler. The capabilities you're mentioning, is that DMR radios?
That is correct. So we've got DMR using commercial frequencies that the ESG has, and we'll be able to communicate back and forth. And we're going to check and see what the simplex capabilities of that are.
Okay, roger that. Yeah, because I have an Anytone 878, so I do have that capability.
Okay, very good. So if you want some more information on that, just send me an email at esg@azgmrs.org, and we'll get you some more info on that. Any other comments or questions?
WQRV 903.
Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, thanks for checking me in and out, Gary. I did listen to most of the net, and everybody did really great. I wish I could have participated, but I'm still wrestling with this website problem, and had to kind of focus a little bit more on that. I do have a question. My Anytone still is not programmed, so when I said there was no issues on the last net, I do have an issue. My Anytone program is My radio's not programmed. I have no clue what I'm doing, so I'm going to have yours and Michael's help on that. WQRV 903, back to that.
Okay, well, either Mike or myself, we can get with you and get that taken care of. Are you getting, when you try to download into the radio, are you getting a band error message, or is there any particular problem?
Yeah, I get the band error message, and I don't think I have it correctly set up for commercial. So I saw the tutorials on how to do that, but I just been too busy with this website launch. As an example, I had a little bracket that's supposed to be 1/4 of a pound, and I put it in the shopping cart to do a test, and it came out with $37 UPS ground. I found out I had it set to 125 pounds, so I've got some issues in data entry to get it fixed. So anyway, no, I gave up because I hit that error and kind of got discouraged and just said, you know what, I got to come back to this later. I had that website launch I had to get done, before the event last weekend. WQRV now.
Okay, Tim. Tim, you can get with Mike. He's got that information on how to take care of that band error problem. Nope, without any issue there. Any other questions or comments for the net tonight? Okay, very good. Well, we had a lot of good participation tonight. Looks like the 1900 net was at about 36 check-ins, so they did very well there. And we had good participation with the stations we had tonight, relaying those messages. We're going to, like I said, we're going to continue having one or two more of these mini exercises, and we're going to get used to relaying those messages without any errors at all. So I sure appreciate everybody who checked into the nets, and we will talk to you on the net next week. This is WQZ 645 Net Control, returning the repeater back to normal operations.